We did this is targeted within the overall gamut of things we can do around fuel charges. So it's targeted in a couple of ways. One, it's as I said, but just to repeat for those joining late, if you will, it's until Labor Day, from Monday until Labor Day. So it's a finite period of time, basically a little more than 4 months. It's an obvious time when Canadians are traveling a bit more. And by the way, I'll just add that the fuel tax for aircraft fuel is also included in this. So for domestic flights, it's relevant for that. So that's the first point. It's targeted. It is. The provinces also have excise taxes on fuel. So ours is 10 cents on gasoline. The provincial average is about 13 cents. This is obviously a decision for provinces whether or not they want to do something targeted. And when you look at, again, to have a balanced approach, and we don't know exactly where, obviously, energy prices are going to be, but the cost of this measure, Minister, is about $2.4 billion.
Marcus Carnivorous is taking a bite out of the prices that Canadians are paying at the pump, due to the fact that the rich decided that they needed to start a war with Iran to distract from the tendency of the pedodent and his buddies to take a bite out of the innocence of children. Also, possibly literal actual babies. There's definitely a number of things in those files that would suggest that they thought of the children of the underclass as some sort of delicacy. I feel like the states, if they manage to stay united through all of this, which I kind of doubt, if they ever get control of their government again, they might want to do another amendment that excludes a few different kinds of people. But yeah, anyway, Carney is doing what he can to help influence all of this, without risking angering either of the two countries responsible for this big, beautiful, stupid war. And he's slashing the gas tax. Now, will that mean that on Monday, gas is actually 10 cents cheaper? Probably not. Maybe like, 5 cents. The global economy is fucked. Because for the last how many years, how long has it been since Captain Planet? There's been politicians who, they've talked a big game about green initiatives, wind power, water power. Has anyone talked about heart power? Anyway, it turns out that that's all been talk, and the assumption has been that constant wars over who has access to oil would ensure that we wouldn't have crazy situations like this. Whoops. Turns out that it would have been a much better idea to invest in solar panels, wind turbines, hydro dams, tide generators, and all that other stuff, instead of hoping that we could rely on the rich to keep it in their pants and not need new wars to distract from the fact that they're all the worst people on the fucking planet. Anyway, on the one hand, this is a bit of a handout to the oil and gas industry, because it's a Tuesday in Canada, so there has to be a handout to the oil and gas industry, because they're apparently so rich that they need constant government funds. They can't ever be the ones to take a hit, no. However, on the plus side, it is getting rid of a consumer consumption tax, which is good, as those disproportionately affect the working poor. Are we going to compensate for this revenue loss by raising the capital gains tax, even a smidgen? How about on people who realize more than $5 million a year? Like maybe just a symbolic, really small, little tiny middle finger targeted. You like that word, Carney, right? Targeted at the most monstrously rich predators. How about it, Carney? Or maybe an announcement that the RCMP is investigating any Canadians connected with the files. Okay? Maybe? No, I guess I'm just supposed to take my super expensive gas and try and be happy about it. Okay.